station, sitting on the throne alone. I am your host, Hank Russell. Well, we got the Kumite coming up this Saturday. I've interviewed enough. I've probably interviewed at least half the card for this, and the one common denominator is they've all been dudes. So they've all been dudes. So and now I finally have a lady competitor on here. We're going to talk for a little bit. She was kind of thrown to the wolves with me in this aspect, but we're going to make her feel very welcomed here at millions.co. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is Miss Tiara Caudill. What's up, man?
Hi, how's it going? Very happy to be here.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So let's talk about the fight. When is, tell me about it in detail, when it is, where it is, and where guys like me can watch it.
Alrighty, Kumite is happening at Madison Theater. It is in Covington, Kentucky, and we have a live stream that's happening. I tragically don't have the name for the live stream, which is horrible, but I can get it for you shortly. But it is, oh man, it's going to be so awesome. We have a phenomenal card this time. Every year, I think, every time Zach puts the show on, it's a great card, but we have some really, really big names that are just kind of like, we're just lucky to happen to be coming through town, and so we could throw them on the card. It was cool.
So who's your opponent?
I tragically didn't get an opponent this time. The one female match that we do have that I'm really looking forward to is between Jess and Devani. They're at kind of a catchweight right now, but that is the one female match. I was hoping to get one. I've competed under Kumite before, had a really phenomenal time, and but
yeah, I looked you up. I saw your last one, so
it's cool.
Very cool, very cool. At the risk, gosh, Lord help me with this question. At the risk of being rude, what weight class do you perform at?
It just depends on the tournament, obviously. At the ADCC, I typically do 118, and then because it's day before weigh-in, so it's pretty easy to make a lower weight and then eat a good meal and feel good the next day. But then for IBJJF, I typically stay in feather 130 or 125 typically.
Usually I get a little nervous about asking that one to women. You're not the first woman fighter I've ever interviewed, but that's, we always wonder like the weight class and stuff like that, because now 118 is that a specific weight class, or is there a name for that one? I don't think I've ever, that must be they must be doing it all like boxing metrics or something like that.
I'm sure there are names for them. Tragically, my attention span doesn't go that far. I just see the number I have to hit, and that's it. That's all. I'm like, all right, here we are. That's where I have to be. So,
Squirrel.
Squirrel. I mean, literally fairies. So that's me.
No, I get it. Well, so what kind of, so how you said you performed on the Kumite before, and I have seen, the footage and stuff like that. How many times have you been on the Kumite?
I believe 2 or 3. I think maybe 3. Definitely 2. Had 2 matches for sure.
How long have you been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
A little over 5 years now.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And, did you like, oh gosh, how do I say this?
Just say
Did
it.
Okay. How old were you when you first started training in it?
Oh, old as dirt. 30. I started training like a week before my 31st birthday. Totally on a fluke. Wasn't planning on doing that. I'd actually gotten my kid in jiu-jitsu on a whim, just to find something to keep him active. And he walked in and was like, "Whoa, there's a parents class? Mom, you should do it." And now here we are 5 years later.
That's not old. Okay. I just interviewed a guy who fought mixed martial arts at 53 years old. Talk to me then.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I know it. And won, surprisingly. I was very proud of him. I was very proud of him. So what did you just kind of like randomly stumble onto it?
No, it was, we did the run of the mill, forgive me for saying this. We did the karate thing, where it was like, oh, come spend $300 a month and you can come 2 days a week. And it kind of got a little bit, I was just paying a lot for not a lot of return. And but I liked the activity, right? I liked him being up and moving. And so I just started Googling different forms of martial arts, really, and came across a gym that was a town over from me at the time, and just went, and the rest is legitimately, you walk in, it smells like mildew and bacteria, and you either love it or you hate it, and I loved it. So
right. I mean, I know. I mean, believe me, as a former competitor myself, it smells like 2 trash cans getting in a fist fight. I get it.
terrible.
You know,
Depending on the gym.
2 flaming turd bags getting in a slapping contest. I could do this all day, but no, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, does the same gym that you train at train mixed martial arts?
So I currently train out of Adamus out of Toledo, Ohio, and they have a program for basically everything. They have a kickboxing program, judo, jujitsu. Unfortunately, I am just like neck deep in the jujitsu, so I haven't had a chance to really venture into all the other programs they offer. But I know that it's just mixed martial.
I get it, and it's not my place to tell anybody anything like what to do and what not to do. But there's a certain time where you have to tell yourself, if you do these things, is it going to have you compete in them? And jujitsu is fine. You can get hurt in jujitsu. I've seen it, but at the same time, like when you start getting into like striking and wrestling and things like that, and there's a bigger risk for injury, you have to ask yourself. And I'm telling this to myself too. So because I trained in mixed martial arts, and man, it's it's tough. I haven't competed in jiu-jitsu in years, but I love it. I think it's a great art form, and I think that it's something you can do well into your 50s.
Sure. It's definitely something every child kind of needs to have a little bit of a, just to be familiar with. Jiu-jitsu is just a wonderful, jiu-jitsu, boxing, all of it, just kids getting familiar with their center of gravity, and then also where they feel comfortable space-wise. Like, I don't feel comfortable if you're this close to me, and this is how I'm going to deal with it,
Yeah, and you said you're from Ohio?
No, I'm actually from Lexington, Kentucky. I just moved.
Oh, okay. You're from Lexington, Kentucky. Okay, but you said you trained in Toledo. Is that what?
Yes,
that's in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay. I'm from Tennessee, but I always forget how far apart these cities are where I'm from. Like Nashville's like 3.5 hours away, but then like Lexington and Toledo, they're only like 40 minutes or something like that.
Lexington, from Toledo. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's about 4 hours and 35 minutes or something. It's something outrageous. But it's a straight shot north. So, but no, it's a funny story how I landed at Toledo, but it's actually just exactly where I need to be. It's been a phenomenal situation for me, a great environment, wonderful teammates. I'm so happy.
Right.
I'm so thankful to be here.
Right, and you still live there though.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason why I was asking is because Ohio has a very enriched mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu background over the past 25 years or so. I don't know if you know who George Gershell is or not.
Oh, I've probably heard the name.
George Gershell fought in the UFC for years.
Oh my gosh, don't say that. I take it back. Oh my gosh, if George is watching this, I am so sorry. I know exactly who that was. That was my professor under my previous school. Oh my gosh. You said his name so effortlessly, it flew off your mouth like butter. I just wasn't prepared for what you were saying.
It's what I do. I mean, I know the mixed martial arts course, especially back then. George was like considered one of the best black belts in jiu-jitsu in this country for over 20 years.
Yeah.
He was like Rich Franklin's best friend back then. I don't know how they are now, but George is well known. But the only problem was that George liked to stand up and fight in the mixed martial arts. So I didn't really get to see his Brazilian jiu-jitsu that much. But by reputation, he's a great jiu-jitsu fighter.
Oh, he's phenomenal. I actually was privileged enough to get the opportunity to train with him when I was at Reaction in Nicholasville. He was one of the professors there, or he was over my former professor, and he would come in and train with us. And he is phenomenal. He's a very phenomenal athlete.
George, I got to get you on the show. By the way, I've mentioned you. You've been mentioned at least half a dozen times since I've been doing this Kumite interviews. So, but yeah, that's the thing about it. Like, there is a great history right now in that area, and a part of it is because of guys like George Gershell and a handful of others. And I think that where they're having the fight on the borderline of Kentucky and Ohio this time is a great way to kick it off. But what do you? So, did you grow up watching fighting, or did?
It's actually funny. When I started college, I was in a pretty serious relationship, which led to my son. And we were pretty knee deep in in the UFC. And my son is named after BJ Penn. His name's BJ. We of course added names to the syllables, but there was inspiration there for sure. Um,
Right.
but then, unfortunately, like it got put on the back burner. I had to go to school. I had to figure a lot of
Yeah.
things out. And so, but once life got figured out and my kid was like, hey, look, jujitsu is readily available. It's like, oh, cool. It's back to being immersed in this world with all these fighters. And it's crazy because the community is like, it is a bubble. It is only so big. So these people who I was watching on the TV, on these fight screens, like I can train with them, like people I know are really close with them. And it's just like, I don't know, it's a very surreal experience.
It is. I mean, when I first started covering sports and particularly combat sports, it was amazing how this bubble and somewhat easily accessible to people that you see on TV sometimes. And also just kind of the history of being able to enjoy it from a simplistic standpoint. You mentioned BJ Penn. I was at UFC 107 when he fought Diego Sanchez in 2009. So it's, very much, very, like you said, a very bubbled up community.
It's incredible. Yeah, no, it's just, and it's neat. The longer that you're in jujitsu, the more opportunities to go to seminars and different, just different camps and things there are. And then it's like, you get there and it's like, whoa, these are people that are like, these are the guys who are doing stuff. They're doing what I want to do. And it's just like, whoa, I'm actually figuring it out. I'm getting on the path. I'm seeing all the people I'm like following, it's cool.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a Gracie? Have you ever been to a Gracie camp or even a clinic or anything like that?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You got to try a Gracie camp. I mean, I did Hanato Gracie. I had to pronounce it proper. Hanato Gracie, and he's funny. He actually fought BJ Penn a long time ago too. But so, man, you got to try it. The only thing is, he trains with gi, and I'm assuming the Kumite is a no gi, right?
Yes. Well, no. Actually, the Kumite is gi and no gi. It's just this time around. I think we maybe have 3 gi matches. The majority of them are no gi. So, but we're open to both. The gi is beautiful. That is where the art came from. You know what I mean? It's wonderful. Yeah. You see people who still embrace that side of it. But I think at this point, like a lot of it's going down this like no gi, really athletic, different kind of path. So I think a lot of people have kind of jumped on that train.
Well, I remember I trained no gi. And then all of a sudden, when I did that class with Hanato Gracie, then they were talking about how you could use the gi to like choke people, choke your opponents and stuff like that. And I was like, man, they need to bring the gis back here, But
just learn to choke with your appendages. It's even better.
It is, but it's like now I could do it. Like, you ever just like sometimes you just want to say, I want to take this thing and choke the shit out of you with it. I'm like,
oh yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna choke you with your own gi, sort of thing. So
yeah, that's fair. I respect that. It just gets so hot. It just gets so hot, and then you get sweaty, and then you make a mistake, and now you're in bottom side control, and you're hot, and you're sweaty, and you're panicking. It's just
right. No, I understand. Believe me. I mean, when I fought, it was. They weren't as accessible to like the heat resistant or whatever you call them, like the constriction type shirts and stuff like that. So I fought in like a black t-shirt. And so, so I get it. Now it's a little bit.
That's the wardrobe that we all wore when we first started jiu-jitsu, right? Your first week on the mat, you'd show up in like the sweatpants and the loose t-shirt, thinking that was the attire for the workout you were about to endure.
I still would do it now. Now at my age, I couldn't imagine, wearing some of that stuff just because I'm not a hardcore competitor anymore, and I'm broadcaster first, competitor second anyway. So, but so you said you have a child. Is he the only one?
Oh yes. Yeah. Yes.
And sure. How old is he?
He's 14, just started high school. But I can't answer any more questions about him because when he asked me what I was about to do, I told him an interview and he was like, please, for the love of God, don't tell them anything about me. I've said too much. Oh my gosh. I'm stressing out.
Yeah. Tell your son to lighten up a little bit. This is the voice of God. Anyway. No, he's okay. No, I get it. We love our kids though. We love our kids. He
does. He trains a little bit. It's kind of hard. He's like 6'2" and 14, so it's like weird finding and that he's just always been really big, and so finding training partners when you're like 11 and 12 years old and the only people your size are adults is kind of weird. So I
Yeah.
think you know,
No.
yeah, it's hard to train and really get a good round when you're afraid that you're gonna physically hurt somebody because you are so much, bigger than them. So
Right. And you know that if he still enjoys combat sports, that will take advantage of him because you're pretty tall. You're pretty tall too, though, aren't you?
oh yeah, like 5'10".
Okay. Yeah. So he gets it from mother. I don't know. He gets it from mom then because
We can say that. We can go with that. I'm happy with that.
there you go. So no. Okay. All right, son. We're going to stop picking on you now,
Thank God.
but we'll stop picking on you now. So is there any possibility to like move on? Are you a blue belt?
I am a blue belt. Yeah, I been a blue belt almost 2 years now. Hoping last year I went and I placed silver at Pans, and I really want to win gold at blue belt at Pans and Worlds. So I'm hoping this is. I don't know. I'm gonna see.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I couldn't imagine, not wanting to progress. I mean, as long as you do it fairly and you do it like diligently, so to speak,
Are you talking about like promotion wise?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't care. Most of what I do is no-gi anyway, so I don't even wear a belt, so it doesn't even matter. And really early on, one of the things I learned is like the school I used to be at would give stripes, and it was a big deal. And you have to kind of identify that like stripes don't matter, rank doesn't matter. Where I'm at now, they don't give stripes, so you're kind of just like, well, here's where I'm at. But it doesn't matter really when I drill and when I train and when I compete. If you don't look at me and my performance and think, oh yeah, I could see her being a blue belt, or oh maybe, if I don't perform to what my rank is, I don't deserve it, right? And so I would be so embarrassed to be promoted to a purple belt and then have the knowledge that I still have now. I'm pretty bad at De La Hiva, and I feel like most purple belts have they can bolo. I can struggling.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, do you know Matt Serra is?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, Matt Serra, a former welterweight champion of the world in UFC. One thing about him is that he had some guys that were brown belts forever because he was very stingy about giving away black belts. It was one of those things where you damn near had to kill yourself just to be able to get your black belt and stuff like that. But these guys at brown belt were competing at such high levels that they were beating black belts and stuff like that. So sometimes you don't have to measure yourself based upon rank.
Oh, for sure. And the school I'm at, I'm under Kelly and Dante, and I have full trust in them with they aren't sandbaggers, and they definitely don't promote people because they like them. So I just have full trust in my coaches and, where I'm at with training. But also, what's the rush? The biggest concern at the end of the day is not getting injured. And if I can leave the mats with that, I'm content,
And as long as you're able to compete, because if I'm not mistaken, the Kumite will not allow anybody less than a blue belt.
No, maybe there's certain circumstances. I think we do have 1 or 2 white belts, but they are on the card tomorrow. They are higher. They have been training for a little bit, but I do believe they allow white belts. I want to say I competed there as a white belt.
Yeah, and Zach, if I get that wrong when we talk next week, I apologize in advance. But
if I got it wrong, oh my goodness, I am so sorry.
Yeah, how'd you meet Zach?
The first Kumite I ever went to, I lost my wallet and finally found somebody's number to contact to get it, and it ended up being Zach. And he actually had me in his phone as Wallet Girl. So when the new Kumite came around and I had texted him and I was like, hey, I'd like to compete, he was like, oh, you're Wallet Girl. So really just and then, Zach is just such a cool guy. He's so nice. And you go to the events and you see him like a flash. He's just everywhere. He never stops moving. And it's just like, hey, how can I help you? What can I do? What do you need? And then now here we are, and it's really cool.
I need to figure out what he looks like because I've only communicated with him, via, Instagram Messenger, and I do follow him and he follows me back on Instagram, but I don't think I recall. I'm so busy. I don't have time to be searching up what this guy looks like, but I will be talking to him.
Social media. You can't find his face anywhere. He doesn't exist on social media, I don't think. Even the Kumite, He runs that, and so when he would message me, I would always just be like, "Who is this? Is this Zach? Is this like the Oracle? Who are we talking to right now?"
Zach, I don't care if you're ugly, man. You ain't gotta hide yourself like that. Come on now.
Zach knows he's a good looking guy. He's good. He's chilling. He's such a busy dude though. He is constantly, I feel like he has a band and then does the Kumite just to give back, like in his free time. So I don't know. If you want to see this man, I think you might have to schedule a meeting or show up to one of his shows.
I know. Well, believe me, I'm scheduling the meeting. That's not the issue. I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping that he schedules with me at the beginning of the week, sometime after the Kumite. That being said, we'll see. You know, if I could, like I said, I don't know if he's I don't know where the next Kumite is going to be at. I think it's in December or something like that. But I'm hoping to actually, if it's possible, that I could be there somehow. So we'll see.
Well, where are you right now?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's only 3.5 hours away. Maybe 4. Maybe 4.5. I don't know. Close. But it's just a drive. It's just a 4.5 hour drive.
All right. Since we're promoting this Kumite, we're going to find this out real quick. So what is, let's see, this is in Madison
Theater in Covington, Kentucky. Yeah. Okay.
We're just going to type in Covington, Kentucky. Okay. Covington. This is, believe me, folks, this is part, this is part of promotion.
I love it.
Okay, so let's see here. How far is that for me? If it would just tell me. Madison Avenue. Okay, we're going to find out. Why won't it do? Okay. Oh no, you know what it is. No, we're having fun here, folks. We're gonna get back on topic. Let's see, Madison Avenue.
Wait. Okay. Oh, my phone's sitting. Right.
No, you're good. I don't know why it keeps telling me it's 5 minutes away. I'm like, no.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
It's worth it. I think, though, if you want my honest opinion, Zach is pretty amazing, and there is no distance that could be a big enough obstacle to prevent you from getting there. We will take care of you when you get there. I'll give you a cool little green wristband. You'll get in for free. Don't you want that?
Yeah, I know it. I need to. I don't know why. I don't know why it's tripping saying I'm like 5 minutes away, but okay, whatever. The Madison Theater. So, hey, anyway, so what is something that, I mean, is it discouraging you right now that you're not on the Kumite?
It's a little discouraging. I would have liked, but I also didn't really try to find myself a match. But next week I'm gonna go compete at Jiu-Jitsu Con, and then we have ADCC in Louisville, and then we have PANs, and then we have trials, and so I'm not like. It obviously is fun to compete. It's so much fun to compete. But I'm not sad, I guess, that I can't because I have so many things coming up. Sometimes it is like a blessing to have just the random match because not everybody can make it to these big tournaments. There's a lot of phenomenal, amazing players that are in these hometowns, these small towns that just can't afford to make it all the way out to Vegas. So it is.
So you're going out to Vegas. That's crazy.
Tragically, it's the worst place on earth, but yes.
Why is that?
It's disgusting. Have you been there?
Not as an adult. I went when I was 8 years old.
And you forgot for a reason, I feel.
Yeah, no. Well, it's ironic because I'm actually an Oakland Raiders fan, and they moved to Vegas a few years ago. But I don't really have a reason. I've heard Vegas is kind of disgusting, though.
Yeah, my first trip there, I think I was eating ice cream. And I was sitting and I was eating ice cream, just having the time of my life, trying to get out of this horrible world I was in. And I looked down and there's a massive cockroach crawling up my arm. And that was just bugs. I don't mind bugs, but Vegas cockroaches.
I don't understand why people vacation there. Look, for the record, I don't travel anywhere without purpose. I've been to Boston twice and I was there for purpose,
Right.
But while I was there, and Boston was great for the record, shout out to Boston, Massachusetts. But, but the thing about it is that, Vegas, I don't want to go out there just to party. I want to have a purpose. I'm not surprised that you said it was disgusting. It's like, but I've heard about this. I think I've heard about, you said it's Jiu-Jitsu Con?
Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu Con, but then CJI is out there too. So somehow, miraculously, me and my significant other, we get to compete on Friday together, and then we are free the rest of the week. And then CJI is happening Saturday night and Sunday night. And actually, two of my coaches, Max Hansen and Dante Leon, they're going to be on the card. They're going to be fighting. And then a few other really great guys from Pedigo are going to be there. And so there is purpose. There is purpose. That alone is the only reason I'm going. I would have skipped Jiu-Jitsu Con this year, but when am I going to get the opportunity to cheer on this many of my teammates on this huge of a stage at one time live ever again? Hopefully
Boom.
again, but
Yeah, no, I get it. You're getting to kill two birds with one stone.
Cool, man.
Which I'm happy to hear that. I don't know too much about the Jiu-Jitsu Con. There is a world. There's also another world-class tournament out there and stuff like that just happened, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, ADCC is out there often. Chewy, God only knows what's out there. Everything's out there. Everything's out there. That's why we're always going to Vegas, and that's why it's just awful.
Oh, so you've been out there a lot then?
Oh yeah, twice a year. I've been out there twice. Like, I never thought before I started training jiu-jitsu that I would ever go to Vegas. And now I go twice a year at least to compete, and never to gamble, never to do anything that you go to Vegas for. It's just legitimately to walk to a venue and compete or watch jiu-jitsu and go home. It's lovely.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The nicest way I could put it is that the lack of sophistication out of the people that hang out in Vegas too kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I don't want to be in Vegas.
It's really hot, but I will say there was a silver lining the first few times I went. The hotel we stayed at next door to it was a McDonald's that had 2 for $5 McGriddles. So the entire week that we were in Vegas, for breakfast, I got to look forward to a very cheap McGriddle. So, I mean, there are highlights. There's silver linings. You just really have to look for them.
I get it. No, that's cool. I mean, nothing wrong with that at all. And, I'm assuming you have a real profession too, don't you?
Oh, absolutely not. I enjoy so much training, and I do travel around. So my son, blessed to be in the position that I'm in, I feel confident, or at least for a while felt confident that he was going to be my only child. And so I really wanted to just dive into being a stay-at-home mother. And then we got into homeschooling and all of this stuff. And so I have been lucky enough to be able to be home with him. And through that, and then through jiu-jitsu, I just travel around and get to help run the tournaments and ref and things like that. So professionally, I'm a ref, yeah, if you want to say that, or stay-at-home mom.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm seriously considering either getting into judging or refereeing myself. And well, I'm friends with Jeff Mullins.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you know who he is?
I know. I feel confident I know who that is. I know.
Yeah. The executive.
I just feel like I can't picture them ever. Pull up a picture
of
him.
He's the executive athletic director of Las Vegas. Like, he's the guy.
No, I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry, I lied.
No, I understand. Now, he's like, when you have the athletic commission and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's the director of the athletic commission. He's from here, where I'm from.
Yeah.
He was the athletic commissioner of Tennessee, and somehow he done weaseled his way into being like the guy. I mean, you're talking like you're talking about he answers, in the sports world, he answers to God, and then it's him. It's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't think I'd ever know that. I didn't think I'd ever know somebody like that, but he was my trainer 18 years ago.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And now he's like, what? How'd you guys separate? What happened? Where'd you go separate ways?
Well, because he lives in Vegas now, or he lived in Knoxville because he was the athletic director over there, or in Tennessee, and he somehow was based out of Knoxville in Nashville for a while. But then now he's in Vegas, so I never see him because he's the guy. Dana White has to answer to him. You know what I'm saying? Billionaire Dana White from the UFC has to answer to my friend Jeff Mullen.
That's really cool.
And it's like, it's interesting how the world, and he's from Memphis, the humble town of Memphis, which
What a small world, right? It's just like you just sprout into something huge, just following your dreams, man. That's cool.
I know it. I'm so happy for him. I mean, he's in his late 60s, and I'm so happy for him. He's great. I mean, I'm young enough to be his kid, but I trained under him. I've got to spar. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I got to spar and hit the director of the athletic commission in Nevada. So come at me, bro.
Are you a fighter?
I used to be.
Oh, that's awesome. So what was your career like? Did you have a lot of time?
I did it for maybe. Okay, keep in mind, I started in '06. Okay, and I've been a broadcaster most of my life. This is what I do. I mean, I've been covering sports. I've been covering, I've done radio shows, all that stuff. This is what I do. I'm a broadcaster first, athlete second. Mm-hmm. That being said, I loved the UFC since 1999. Oh. And here in Memphis, we had Jeff Mullins kickbox. We had a few training camps, but Jeff Mullins was the main one. And he only accepted maybe 30 guys in his whole camp. And I worked with him because he was the judge at the time he was a judge, 35, 38, all those. He was one of those guys. He was one of the first, And so I worked with him. Then we lost touch when he became the commissioner of Tennessee, and then somehow he managed to work his way into being the man. So,
cool.
But I used to be a fighter. Yeah, I sure did. I fought for 3 years, all amateur. Didn't want to be pro. Those when I saw them in the back kicking those pads, and it sounded like a gunshot, I'm good.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Imagine getting kicked by one of. Yeah, no, that's rough. I couldn't. That's why I never really got into fighting. I don't want to get hit. I could handle it. I could do it, but I just don't want to. And then imagining you see some of those, like when their faces are just smashed. It's like I couldn't imagine feeling that and being in a fight and just being like, "Oh my god, my face is smashed," but I still have to defeat this person in front of me.
You got to be a special type of crazy too.
It's fair. It's fair.
I have no problem saying that back then I was a little bit crazy, but then I mean, even to this day, like when I go on site for fights and stuff like that, and I do the press and I go in the locker rooms and stuff like that. And every time I even I don't even have to go in there, I can hear them warming up, and it just sounds like a gunshot. It still scares me to this day, and I'm like, I made the right decision not going pro.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, it's a cool experience, though. You got to meet, like you said, I mean, you've met some pretty amazing people, like for a lifelong friends, and so definitely.
Yeah, right. I mean, I've always loved don't get me wrong, I'm a football fan, basketball fan, baseball fan, all that good jazz. That being said, I've always liked one-on-one competition because it's you and them.
Yeah,
it's you and them. You have a team with you, but at the end of the day, it's about how well you do, too. You have a team behind you, but you're the one that has to, perform. And it's all about you. It's all about how you perform. And if you don't perform at your main ability, then you have to figure it out for yourself. So, and I'm sure that it'll be great. Like, I'm sure it'll always be great as far as like one-on-one combat. It's been around forever. Now there's however popular it is now and however it was in my day when I fought is a whole different story, but
right.
But I believe one-on-one combat will be something that will always be around.
No, I agree with you there. Absolutely. I mean, it kind of goes back to like the Roman time, like the big, huge Colosseums where they would all gather. The whole town would just sit in the rows and watch these people fight to the death or fight a lion or something. I think the one-on-one combat's never going to leave because we're so entertained by it. There's something like really cool about watching another person absolutely physically destroy somebody. I know it sounds sick, but it is. It's really cool. It's cool.
It really is. Well, Tiara, before I let you go, you got anything you want to say? Any shout outs or anything like that? And then we're going to promote the fight again.
Oh, yeah, I do. So many shout outs, but I can't think of them right now. Just super thankful to Zach for everything. You guys truly do not know how much goes into this. I just got a little taste of it this time around. and it was a lot. It was a lot of work, just for what I had. He literally only gave me what was easy to delegate, and he's just a phenomenal person. So that's, obviously shout out to my gym, Adamus. Very, very proud to be a part of this team. Really looking forward to CJI and everything that's coming up in Jiu-Jitsu Con. And then all the competitors, everybody who dealt with me trying to figure out their matches. Thank you so much. I'm just really thankful that we were able to get such a good show put together. So
absolutely. So, all right. So, where is the fight? When is the fight? And how can people like me watch it from here?
Awesome. Madison Theater, not the one that's apparently 5 minutes away from you in Murfreesboro. It's in Kentucky. It's in Covington, Kentucky. The matches, I believe, will start either 5 or 5:30. Oh, man. And they're just going to be some amazing ones. Amazing matches. I do have to say, one I'm super looking forward to is between Lawson Grime and Jacob Lemaster. These are two just amazing competitors. For where they are in their journey right now, they're just absolutely annihilating everyone. And it's so cool to watch. I get the opportunity to train with both of them and see they both have such aggressively different styles, and so they have a match tomorrow night that I think is going to be just epic. Very excited to watch it.
Lawson, I interviewed you a few days ago, and I'm so glad she said that. So that's awesome. There you go.
Awesome. He's such a cool.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, it has been nothing but a pleasure, and if you ever want to do this again, we're friends on Instagram now. Write me. I might, if you're not too busy, I might write you during the show. That way it's like if I need to understand something, I'll have my on-site, reporter or whatever. Like, hey, well, what was this about? What happened on this?
For sure.
I need somebody to talk to about this.
Oh, anytime. This is the coolest experience. This is it was like we were talking about earlier. The more that you do it, it just kind of you just rise up and following your dreams and all that stuff. And it's just like this, getting to compete on such a pretty aggressive level, and then getting to do these interviews, getting to help talk to all these really, really great competitors who are doing awesome things, super popular people, getting to set up matches for them. This is just the coolest thing, just the coolest experience. So I really appreciate you letting me be a part of it.
Of course, anytime. This will be fun. We'll do this again. And
for sure. Cool.
Yeah, if anybody wants to talk post fight, anybody out there listening this in the Kumite, you want to talk post fight, I'm here. Doesn't matter. We're cool. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, you've been with the Hank Russell invitation today. You could have been doing anything else, but you decided to join Tiara and I here today, and we are so glad that you did. There's no other place on earth like it, as opposed to being able to talk about fighting and combat stuff. Go support the Kumite. It's gonna be fantastic. I don't get to watch too many fights because I do too many interviews, but I'm catching this one because I've interviewed half the roster. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Hank Russell invitation, and y'all have a pleasant evening.